So I bought this Soligor 70 to 200mm lens for about $20 just out of curiosity. I was actually looking for some other Canon FD glass and the store happened to have this one too. I wasn't sure how often I would shoot with it and how usable it would be on the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which has about 3x crop factor. Turned out that it is very fun and usable lens, but mostly for outdoor situations of course. With Super 16 sensor, this lens gives incredible reach and allows to make interesting shots of things that are far away or just not always possible to get to physically. Of course, this lens by itself, and especially in combination with the original pocket camera, has its quirks and limitations. So let's talk about the whole experience. And keep in mind the price again, about $20. This lens was made by German company Soligor for Canon FD mount somewhere in the 70s or early 80s. It is fully manual, it doesn't have a legendary status or outstanding characteristics, but it is cheap, well built, it covers full-frame sensors and it's easily adaptable to any mirrorless camera. So the first quirk is the aperture. On the barrel it is stated that aperture is not constant and you will get darker image when you zoom. Maximum value is 4.5 and it darkens to 5.6. Usually that means that you can stop the lens down and get darker, but constant aperture value. But not in this case. No matter what you choose, image always will get darker with zooming. Doesn't matter if you choose f5.6, f8 or f11. And the second interesting thing is the zooming mechanism itself. You are not turning the ring to zoom, you're just pulling the lens. And it's actually very intuitive and comfortable, because you can zoom and focus in the same smooth and continuous motion. It is so intuitive that after using this lens I'm instinctively trying to pull all my other zoom lenses. Also, the focusing ring is very smooth and wide with long travel distance, so pulling focus is very pleasant experience. Overall, this lens is surprisingly well fitted for shooting video. And as I said, I had a lot of fun with it. It is possible to film from a very long distance and capture natural behaviors and reactions, like people's emotions or animals doing their things without disturbing them. But during this exciting process I've encountered two main limitations. Both of them don't have any solutions as far as I know, at least cheap or easy ones. First is the sensitivity of this setup to any kind of shake. This is completely manual lens, so it doesn't have any stabilization built in. And at the maximum zoom, even your footsteps or your breath will be magnified and translated to the footage. Any twitch, any slightest air movement will be noticeable. So handheld footage is almost out of the question. At 70, maybe at 100mm it is possible, but again, a good tripod is highly recommended. The second issue is also related to the air, but now not to its movement, but to its density. At 200mm with 3x crop you will be looking through a lot of air mass, and you will notice how hot air shimmers and rises up. Everything will look less sharp and a bit wavy, especially small objects. Maybe it is possible to avoid if the weather conditions right or at specific time of the day, but no matter what you do, air thickness always needs to be considered. Also, this lens has a very strange flare. Sometimes it's actually smooth, pleasing and non-disturbing, but at some angles and some focal distances you get this purple, almost rectangular streak, and it isn't a light leak. I tried to cover the barrel of the lens, nothing changes. But if you make some kind of a lens hood, even with your hand, this streak disappears. Also, if you zoom in or out a bit, it also can go away. Not a huge problem, but it can look strange. In conclusion, this lens isn't a hidden gem. It doesn't have a unique characteristic or outstanding optical quality, but it also doesn't have any obvious flaws. And for its price, I think it's worth having one, just for some occasions or specific shots, or for creative experimentations. Oh, and of course you can use it for photography too, with old Canon film cameras as intended, or adapted to modern mirrorless bodies. Well, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching, see you soon. Bye.